Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Live at the Waterhole. And we're starting off at African's Rosy Pan. And Rosy's Pan is always a very interesting place. Sometimes we get hippos in here. As you can see, we've got some lovely elephants. And I'm really hoping we see a python named Monty Python, although we haven't seen him in a while, but we can always hope. It's me, Trishala, and I'll be with you for the next 2 hours as we go through the different cameras. And being live and interactive means that you can send through questions and comments. You can head over to our website and register to do that, or you can use @FC in the YouTube chat. And if you'd like to keep up with the conversation, you can use #WildEarth on Twitter or X. And you can scan that QR code. I love to hear from all of you, but I also understand that Live at the Waterhole is truly about giving yourself the opportunity to immerse in the sights and the sounds of nature. But I am here to answer any of your questions. Oh, I just heard a wonderful rumble. I suspect something else is going to be approaching the waterhole. The elephant on the right there was looking off just into that drainage. But for now, it seems that everyone is relaxed. In winter, I find it really difficult to say that, oh, this is the time that predators are going to be active and this is the time they're not going to be active, because the temperatures are a little lower. The sun is definitely not as scorching. And especially in areas where there's a lot of cloud cover, if it is a dull and gloomy day, predators can be on the move at any time of the day. And here at Rosy's Pan, there is the Rosy's Pan female, the leopardess, that comes along and spends time at the edges of the pan. So I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't hoping that we'd see her. So we're going to be taking a lot of moments of silence to really immerse ourselves into these cameras and these water holes. And there's no sound, at least to me, that's better in the bush than elephants drinking. So let's take a moment right now. Well, that was lovely and peaceful, really setting the tone for the rest of the day here at Live at the Waterhole. The elephants are moving off. I hope that they will dust bathe a little bit in that area. It's nice and sandy. There's very little green vegetation left. So if they don't stop to dust bathe, I suppose they'll probably head over to nice patches of green in other areas, particularly in drainage lines where the water table is a little higher, which means that plants have better access to water and therefore greener foliage, which is exactly what the elephants are after. But also remember, at this time of the year, you're going to see lots of chomping on branches, lots of ring barking, or well, barking in general, not necessarily ring barking, so they can eat that inner bark of the trees. Like with all animals, as the seasons change and as resource availability moves, it waxes and wanes. As that happens, animals need to change and adapt. A little bit of dust bathing there from this elephant that's right in front of us, hidden behind a tree, of course. And we can't quite reposition with the static cameras. So, how about we head over to a fan favorite, the Eldonia waterhole up in Kenya? Oh, yes, perfection. I think that this camera has possibly the best sound and the best visuals. You can see it's very cloudy and overcast today in this area in Blue Hills. Whenever I see weather like this, I think that it gives elephants sort of a little bit of relief. Not just elephants, rhino as well. Thick, large animals just gives them a bit of relief from that sun. This elephant looks like it's having the time of its life. No one to disturb him, no other elephants around, no giraffes that are waiting patiently in the corner, no zebras not so patiently making their way to the waterhole. It's just peaceful. I saw some really cool starlings come through, superb starlings. We don't get them down here in South Africa, but we do see them up here in East Africa. A very pretty bird. If we see them again, I'll point it out. Oh, look at this. Hello, sweet warthog. The elephant only looks mildly curious about the warthog. And interestingly, I was about to move us over to Naledi Dam, where an elephant had just chased a warthog. But we might stick around here and see how this interaction ends up. And then we can head over to Naledi. And that was short lived. Okay, how about we come back down to South Africa and head over to Naledi Dam and see how that elephant is getting on with its warthog? Ah, no warthog to be seen, and chased it off, but definitely a whole lot of splishing and splashing going on. I hope it will continue. Well, it looks like we just missed all of the splashing about, but it's okay. At least we got to see it and we got to hear the movement of the water as it moved those great big legs through it. But off it goes. I wonder if the warthog will come back now. And just like that, it's as if nothing came to visit Naledi Dam. But this waterhole has plenty going on. Sometimes we've seen leopards here, we've seen lions here. There used to be a civet that used to go on a territorial patrol around here as well. And that's how it is at the waterholes. Sometimes it can look like there's nothing happening. Does anyone even visit this waterhole? And other times it can be action packed. And that's very much how nature is too. You never know what you're going to get. Luckily for us, we have lots of cameras that we can move between. So let's head back up to El Donio. That elephant bull is still around. Oh, these sounds. I love the sounds here at Old Donyo. It definitely seems like the water truck has come and filled up the water hole again. Ooh, that was a long, long splash. I think this elephant's telling me to keep quiet. All right, I will while you do your thing. Oh, yeah, those beautiful, superb starlings at the bottom there. I do love them. But they're quite quick, so it's going to be difficult to get a nice close up of them. But I'm sure Tadiwa in the control room with none other than Nadine, maybe they'll give it a try. Nice, isn't that beautiful? That little bit of overflow on the side there of the waterhole is just perfect for for birds that want to bathe. And of course, bathing is really, really important for birds. It allows them to take care of their feathers, and they really need to take care of their feathers. It's likely the most important feature of a bird, the wings and the feathers. And they've got to take excellent care of it because feather health is directly related to their survival. I suppose, yeah, it is how they feed, how they search for food, how they travel, how they escape predators. Can you imagine being one of the birds here at the edge of the waterhole, looking up at this great big elephant? So much noise. Some really nice close ups of the birds there enjoying the waterhole too. But our elephant has moved off, so we're going to move off as well back over to Naledi Dam. Now, this well here at Naledi Dam is one of the favorite spots for elephants. The water is nice and fresh, and they can kind of almost like at El Doño form a little circle around the well, each one trying to get its opportunity to drop its trunk in and have a drink. And sometimes you get tiny little babies that try to, but they can't reach it. But this youngster is not very tiny. It's probably about 2 or 3 years old, and it can just pop its trunk into the well. So this bull that's come in, this looks like the one that was actually splashing around here earlier. And I even saw the sneaky warthog go past as well. And as he moved in, you would have heard a rumble. Now, the female and her calf, they didn't respond badly to him, but maybe they gave him a little bit of a warning. He came running through, well, not running through, but he moved at quite a pace towards the well. So maybe they just said to him, hey, hey, take it easy. And now he seems very well behaved. Hi, Yellow Boots. You'd like to know if when elephant bulls leave the herd, when they have to leave their natal herd and be pushed out and go off to live a life on their own, look at this guy giving himself a good old scratch. You'd like to know, do they miss the social bonds they have created within the herd? I'm sure they do. Obviously, there's no way to answer that because we don't know, but I'm sure that they do. Elephants have a really well developed brain. They, in fact, I think it's the Asian elephant that has the greatest amount of neurons of any animal or land animal, I should say, with the savanna elephant, the one we're looking at right now, just behind them. And so they have a really well developed emotional senses centers in their brain. And so we know that they create emotional bonds and that those bonds matter in a social setting. And that's why I'm sure that when bulls leave their herd, they do feel different, they do miss it. And that's probably why it's a very difficult time in their lives. They don't have the safety and the companionship of the herd any longer, but they can find that with other males. It's just that when they find it in bachelor herds or in companionship with other bulls, there's always an undertone of competition and of display and being able to show how big and strong you are. As they grow, I think that that becomes a much more important thing than the herd. And being able to mate becomes a very, very important part of their lives. It becomes their sole focus as they grow older. But when they just leave the herd and they're still getting used to what this next stage of life is for them, I think they do miss the herd. And I think it's also shown by the fact that many of the recently pushed out bulls will still, from a distance, follow behind their natal herd. Now, elephant bulls, even up to very mature age, even up till their deaths, will associate with other breeding herds, but they are not part of the herd. You might see them come to a waterhole or to another resource together. They will still greet each other, but they are not part of the herd because their entire lives become focused on finding females in estrus. So I think they do miss those bonds, but how they bond changes as they get older, and the focus of their lives change as well. How sweet was that? I wonder if you noticed the whole interaction. I wanted it to unfold before we chatted about it. You would have seen that this calf started to reverse, to move backwards towards its mother. Elephants do that when they are feeling threatened or they're feeling unsure about something in front of them. And instead of turning around and turning their back to that potential threat, they reverse. They move backwards. Then they can still keep an eye on that thing that's strange and perhaps threatening. In this case, there were a couple of birds. So this baby reversed, went right close to its mum, and then perhaps got some comfort from mum, maybe a little bit of confidence, and then decided, I'm going to go back for those birds, and then ran straight towards the birds. Now, if you heard that really high pitched call in the background, I wonder if it was an African harrier hawk. There was a juvenile in this area not too long ago. It was just kind of hanging about. Didn't quite sound right, but sometimes with juveniles it is like that. But hopefully it'll make an appearance and we can see for sure. Oh, these elephants are being so lovely. It really is therapy to watch them going about their business. And Ray Joubert, you say, any time is calm time, anytime. It really is. I could sit and just watch them and get pulled into all their little movements, the movement of the tail, the position of the legs and the feet, the flapping of the ears, the crunching of the branches, the movement of the water. It really is a special time. Jive Bunny, you say hello from South UK. You love the kind of the little well there at Naledi. It is a very popular spot. Obviously for elephants because they can reach it. But you see that little shadow that the well is casting towards the waterhole. I remember a time when there was a lioness lying in that shadow, hiding, and an elephant came to drink from the well, and they both kind of like stared at each other because the lioness knew that the elephant was there, but the elephant was a little unsure. And then, of course, all hell broke loose. But that well has always been a source of entertainment. Oh, Jive Bunny, you say you remember a hyena fell in a few years ago. My goodness. But it got out okay. But the other hyena buddies were just watching, wondering what was going on. I think we would also be watching, wondering what is going on. And I can imagine the hyena falling in. They are so curious and also so strong. They'd be able to pull themselves up quite easily. You know, they're not the most agile predators, not the most flexible, but they have got strength. Now, Spencer, you would like to know, are elephant mums strict, or do they let their calves explore in a close distance? It all depends on the situation. Sometimes they can let the calves explore at quite a distance, especially if there are other calves around and it's in a big breeding herd. But like this, a mum and a single calf, she seems quite comfortable. They all seem quite comfortable now. But she's not going to let that calf go very far. And it's not even about her letting the calf do that. But often calves don't want to be, or at least they don't appear to want to be very far from their mums. As they get older, that changes, of course. But we also know that there's another elephant bull around. Just a little earlier, you saw his trunk come into what we could see. There he is. But they seem to have put him in his place earlier. Actually, this looks like a different elephant. There must be another bull or the bigger bull around as well. Maybe she's going around to see him. So you can see that the calf is pretty far away from mum right now. So mum is very relaxed, even with the other elephants around, even with that bull that had come through. Maybe he's left by now. I don't think so, though. But everyone is very comfortable. And that's the nice thing about elephants at a waterhole. Once they've drank and they're starting to relax and just enjoying the environment, that's when you see really great interactions. I'm still hearing a whole lot of water. I wonder if someone's at the well again. I think that this elephant bull is known to this female and her calf because she is letting the bull be very close to the calf. Is not The calf is not concerned about the bull at all. The bull is not reacting to the calf, and that's not unusual. If the bull is not looking for a female in estrus, he's not in must. Really isn't very much of a threat. And elephants have home ranges, and we know that they communicate over long distances. So, elephants in an area know who else is around. It's not a big surprise when an elephant bull approaches a breeding herd. They would have known that he was coming for some time. And I think that this female knows this bull. So everyone seems very chilled, very relaxed. It was also impressive to see the size difference between that 3-year-old calf and this big elephant bull. Well, this was a really nice time spent at Naledi Dam, and I hope that we'll come back again soon. But how about we head over to Tao? We haven't visited Madikwe Game Reserve during Live at the Waterhole yet, and I think there might be an ostrich and some elephants there too. Oh, here we go. An ostrich coming out to have a drink. We've got wildebeest in the distance, well, just behind it. And there were some elephants here as well. Now, Tao can be very, very busy. There's so much space around the waterhole. Oh, and look, there's a wildebeest even on the ground, rubbing itself. Oh, this is so sweet. Jive Bunny, you say the ostrich is entertaining the wildebeest back there. It honestly looked like it was. I thought it might entertain the elephant too, but the elephant is not concerned about the ostrich at all. Jay Connor, you'd like to know if any of the waterholes are spring fed. The majority are, and those could either be with a borehole, but if you're thinking about natural springs, not really. You would have noticed that the majority of waterholes are around lodges, so they're usually artificially created. They're fed with a borehole. Some pans are seasonal, which of course are not fed with anything. But if you see a waterhole and it's near a lodge, you can pretty much bet that it's a man made waterhole. Some waterholes have pipes that lead into it that fill it up. You would have seen a pipe at Oldonyo. You would see it, or we used to be able to see it at Jamala, but now the water is quite high, so we can't really see it. But most waterholes around lodges are man made. And then as the seasons change, water levels change as well. And now we have the elephant entertaining the ostrich. Did you see the way the ostrich stopped and looked as this elephant decided to empty its bowels? Oh, this ostrich is walking around here like it's the principal walking around the schoolyard judging everyone, although I don't think principals judge everyone. Perhaps it looks like the cool kid. Again, some wonderful sounds and scenes here. The zebras going about their business. We've got these white-faced whistling ducks in front of us. The Egyptian geese that never disappoint. There's even a red-knobbed coot that's swimming about as well. Now, Mindy, you wanted to know a little bit more about ostrich leg bones and the structure because you always thought that their upper leg bone and kind of, I suppose, the muscle looks very much like a human thigh. And I suppose it does. And I must first say that I don't know much about the specific musculature and the anatomy, or I should say the structures specifically in an ostrich's leg, but we know that ostriches are birds, and so we can infer a couple things. I think our ostrich has well and truly moved off. But the foot, oh, hello, Ellie. The foot, just like our foot, is on the ground, and so is an ostrich's foot, right? But that length between the foot and the first joint that kind of looks a little bit like it should be the ostrich's knees, those are actually its ankle joint. Now, for us, between our foot and our ankle, there is a bit of a space, but we have a collection of shorter, smaller bones there and not a ton of muscle. And that's also represented when we see birds, because all birds have the same structure in their legs. And that first joint that looks like the knee is, of course, the ankle bone. Then as we go up, so that the part of the ostrich's leg that looks like it should be a thigh, or look a little like our thigh muscle, that's actually its shin bone, connecting from that ankle joint up into its body. And its knee, we can't see it. Its knee is well and truly in the mass of the body. It's right at the top of the leg. And it's very difficult to see unless an ostrich, is really stretching out. And then that area from the knee to the hip is completely hidden from us, and it's very short. So that area that we think looks a little bit like our own thighs is really the area between the ankle joint and the knee. It's shin bone. And we know that we have muscle in that area. If you think about the area between your ankle or your ankle and your knee, you have your calf muscle. There's a lot of muscles going on there. So in an ostrich, those muscles are pretty well developed. And it ends up looking a lot like a thigh. Now, could it be that our thigh muscle looks the way it looks because of how we use it? And I think that's a pretty good hypothesis. Now, an ostrich and other birds with these long legs, they're pretty much using their legs in the same way that we are, but their ankle bone or the space between the ankle and the foot is elongated and pretty much acts in a similar way as our shin bone. So just imagine that everything's been pushed up. And that's the anatomy of a bird's leg across the board. It's just that with some birds, like passerine birds, that's a little shorter. Whereas wading birds and birds with long legs, that area between the foot and the ankle is much longer. So I think it just ends up looking like our thigh, and it looks like it's in the right position to be a thigh, but it's actually not. I think because of the movement of the bird and how that leg is being used, the muscle around that area is significantly bulkier and ends up looking like a thigh. Now, I don't know anything, like I said at the beginning, specific about the anatomy and the muscle structures for ostriches specifically, but in general for birds, that's what it looks like. And I think that ostriches would be no different. But I will have a look and see if there's something different or special about the structure with ostriches, I think it's just a lot more obvious because they're big and we can see so much of the leg. elephants all round. Here at Tao, we had such nice variety. We had some of those impala coming through, the wildebeest, elephants. We had this whole array of birds as well. But we're going to head over now to northern KwaZulu Natal and go over to Tembe Elephant Park. Oh, I think we're in for some really nice sounds here. Lots and lots of flapping about, movement of the trunks, the water. I think, or I hope, that they'll also get in there and have a little bit of a swim. How beautiful are these sounds? It can really suck you in. The elephants are sort of spread out now, each enjoying little bits of different things. Some are enjoying the water, some the grass over on the left there. The one on the right looked like it wanted to chase a bird. It looks like an elephant paradise almost. Also noticed how there's a lot more greenery in this area compared to pretty much most of our other camps. Now here in northern KwaZulu-Natal, it's one of those places that is very humid, gets a lot of rainfall, very tropical. And so you don't often see it brown in the same way as it does in the Lowveld. Winter is still the dry season, but because of the amount of rain in general, it's not as obvious. But you still see some of the trees browning at the edges there. And of course, the grass. And while these elephants are very relaxed, how about we head over to Old Donyo and see what's happening there? I think if we're lucky, there should be an elephant around and maybe a giraffe or two. And we have the similar situation, the situation we've been encountering every single day during Live at the Waterhole together. The elephant is at the waterhole enjoying himself, and the zebras are at arm's length or trunk length, waiting patiently for the waterhole to become available. Now, earlier there were some giraffes here too, and I suspect that they're probably at the tree line there. We've definitely learned that many animals wait at a safe distance for the elephants to finish their drink before they come through and enjoy one themselves. So as this elephant moves along now searching for that pipe. Oh, come on, Ellie, it seems like you had a nice time at this waterhole. You had a good drink. How about you let the others have a drink too? This elephant doesn't care what I think. It's gonna take as long as it wants. Oh no, zebras, don't give up. Oh, they won't give up. They'll still be around waiting for their opportunity to come to the waterhole too. Right, Jive Bunny? It is a little bit like a soap opera here at Old Donyo. There's always something happening, always somebody irritated, always somebody sneaking about. It's thoroughly entertaining, though. think it would be quite cool if there was like a infrared live at the waterhole, and we could see what comes through at night. Oh, I think that would be so cool. Here at Old Donyo, I think we'd see a striped hyena. We'd definitely still see the elephants that probably dominate the waterhole as usual. But I think we'd see a striped hyena, and I think we'd see lions. We used to see cheetah here a couple times, but not at night. At least I don't think we've seen them at night. Maybe we have, actually. Jackals. You'd see lots of predators in the evening. Even at the other waterholes, too. Infrared live at the waterhole. Oh, that would be nice. Night live. Not sure what I'd call it, but I think it would be cool. Hooray! We have one brave zebra stepped up to the plate, drinking alongside this elephant, but the elephant was definitely eyeing that zebra. I hope that the zebra will be fine, but we know that they react so quickly. So if the elephant did make any movement, I'm sure the zebra would run away very quickly. Oh, this camera seems to be a little bit stuck. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. It usually does in a couple seconds, but now it's taking its time. Oh, I hope we don't have to go to another cam because I think that there would have been a cool interaction here. No? Oh. Okay, Aldonio. We can head over to another cam. Gwen is now in the hot seat. There we go. Off to Okukuyu, where we have some springbok. It's looking very quiet. Sometimes this waterhole is absolutely pumping. But now it's just a spot of serenity, honestly. Very peaceful. Well, that was a nice little breather at Okukuya, but now we are back at Tau. We see a lovely reflection um, of an elephant there, waving its tail and getting the stilts attention. This black winged stilt is just chilling. Oh, goodness me. That gave me a bit of a fright. That crocodile just popped out of there. Goodness me, stilt. Get out of there. Luckily for that bird, it can fly. Another reason, or as I was saying before, one of the primary reasons that birds have to take care of their feathers. Oh, it is so cool to see this crocodile move around like this. Now crocodiles, they don't move around for nothing. I wonder if it's looking for a snack. It could also just be looking for a nice place to rest, maybe up onto these little grass banks. Oh, look at that tail. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so cool. This has to be, I think, my favorite sighting so far on Live at the Waterhole today of this croc moving around. Look at the way it's moving its tail to try and position itself and turn. I still feel it. It seems very active. I feel like it might be looking for a snack. Oh, it's reversing. Oh no, Spoonbill! Oh no, Spoonbill! Yeah, get out of there. Now the yellow bull stalks are. Nope. Yes, move out of there. There's an active crocodile there. Oh, the yellow bull stalk here and the African spoon bull from before are living dangerously. Oh, this is lovely. It was very intense earlier, with the crocodile moving about so actively and the yellow bull stork and the spoon bull being so complacent. This is a much safer end of the Towel waterhole where these warthogs are giving a good go to all that mud. The crocodile would definitely be very visible. If it got to this side, it would need to swim here, climb over these muddy patches, and by that time, the warthogs would have fleed. I would like to go back and have a look at that area where the croc was, though, because it was just looking so active. I felt like it was after something. And I didn't see where it went to. Now, crocodiles can submerge for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So it could just be submerged in that area. But I don't know. I feel like it's looking for a meal. Jive Bunny, it was as if that crocodile was on a patrol. It just like it got itself into such a small space and was constantly wiggling around as if it was trying to look for something. Maybe it was actually trying to get away from the elephant that was close to the waterhole. I don't know, but here we are back around the same spot. I don't see a croc, but I do see a heron and that black-winged stilt. And of course, the elephant in the room. There comes the croc again, right next to the black-winged stilt. Hopefully we'll be able to get a look at it again. There you can see that there's waterbuck in the water as well on that side. There's always so much happening at Tao. These waterbuck are doing what they do best, which is to chomp on the vegetation near waterholes, but sometimes you gotta get right into the waterhole. Get all those nice plants that live in the water, nice and juicy. So sweet. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Live at the Waterhole. I'm going to now hand you over to On Safari. Goodbye for now.
Very good afternoon to everybody. everybody, and thank you once again for joining us for our highlight show here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, sunny. And we're coming directly here from a Juma private game reserve here in the northern Sabi Sands.